victory over the Patriots. But as you mentioned, the weather is perfect here today, kind of unbelievably so, and Seattle comes in allowing by far the most passing yards per game of any team in the league. So it could be a week for Josh Allen to air it out. Even with Jamal Adams back for the Seahawks following a 4-game absence due to a groin injury, Allen could be throwing a lot more this week than he did last. And that's fine with the Bills. I talked to left tackle Dion Dawkins, and he told me we have high faith, high confidence in our guy Josh. The coaches are allowing him to be him, and it's an amazing thing to see and be a part of. He said, I'm blessed to be Josh's left tackle. I love the kid. And then we got to talk, and Dion and I were talking about superheroes and which superhero each guy on the Bills offense would be, and I could go through the whole list, but I'll tell you what he said about Josh. He said, for me, Josh is Captain America because Captain America is just a stone-cold dog. And he liked that, but I found out later Josh overheard the conversation, and he didn't because he's not a big Captain America fan. He thinks of himself more as Star-Lord. So these guys, Sam, have to get all this sorted out if they're going to outscore Russell Wilson today.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do my research on that before I comment on that, Dan. I don't see the problem with Captain America.
I don't know this kid. Did I miss something?
You're showing your age.
We'll look it up in the break. Let's get back to Josh Allen, though, Matt. When you hear him talking about the potential of him airing it out today against Jamal Adams coming back, what are you seeing from Josh Allen right now?
Listen, he is a stone-cold dog, as his teammate said right there. When I watch him, it's just so fun to watch him. And he starts out, Randy, he was like an MVP candidate the first 4 weeks of the season. 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. It's fun to watch this guy throw the football. It's very fun. But then he gets hurt later on. I think it was week 4 against the Raiders. Check this throw out here. Just effortless. Like, this ball has eyes. That's a 35-yard throw, 25-yard throw. But then in the Raider game, he takes this hit right here, subluxes his left shoulder, separates his shoulder. And from this game on, his stats are way down. And he's wearing like a linebacker harness on that left shoulder. Does that affect you as a right-handed thrower? I've had this injury. It absolutely does. You end up missing things high a little bit more often than you would. So it doesn't surprise me that his numbers dipped for a couple weeks, but having had this injury, you do recover. He will be fine. And unfortunately for the Seahawks defense, I think right about now is the time that Josh Allen's probably feeling himself. He's going to me, probably look more like the quarterback we saw the first 4 weeks of the season than he has the guy right after that injury.
You know, the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen cannot hope for that guy that we saw the first 4 weeks. The reason why, we're letting Russell cook, letting dangerous Russell Wilson cook. He's coming into town. You talked about his injury. This is not the time to be talking about his injury, Matt. If he's ready to go, come ready to play, because you look at what the Seattle Seahawks, led by Russell Wilson, and that offensive passing attack has been doing. I like what the Buffalo Bills was doing. We got DK Metcalf on one, and we have another star on the other side with the Buffalo Bills, a guy that's staying below the radar, Teddy. Second in the National Football League in receiving yards. I'm talking about Stephon Diggs, man. Yeah. Everybody wanted to know, what was Stephon Diggs going to be able to do with a guy like Josh Allen? Hey, man, just make you and the whole offense better. I like what Stephon Diggs brings to the table. What he can do it in the short game. But I think what my eyes are on today is how the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen will fare in this red zone. Because of the Seattle Seahawks, you hear me keep talking about Metcalf. You can't leave out a guy like Lockett. With that offense, the Buffalo Bills, they got to score early and they got to score often.
Well, this is not your old cover 3 Seattle Seahawks defense that they're going up against now. They are starting to send people. When Jamal Adams is healthy, if he can go, that's a blitzer. Bobby Wagner, last week, Ken Norton Jr. sent him close to 20 times. That's the highest of his career. That's just something you don't see every week. So Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams, the pressure game of the Seattle Seahawks. Rex, I'm talking about blitzers here, all right, with Seattle. So Wags and Adams, if that's a different aspect that Josh Allen's going to have to deal with, and they're going to come after him.
Brew, the first thing when you talked about how they've changed it up, they're blitzing heck out of Ken Norton Jr. is blitzing everybody now. He gets Jamal Adams, probably their best blitzer, to go with Bobby Wagner in there. That tells me that Pete Carroll was tired of seeing this defense stink. Like, they were dead last in the league. Yeah, he just signed a new contract because Pete Carroll's usually a great defensive coach. I have a funny feeling he's getting in those meetings and saying, dude, seriously? I know your dad had a heck of a left hook, but come on, kid. Like, we got to do something. You can't just take a beat down. This week is going to be a huge challenge because, guys, Josh Allen, that people say, oh, he's not that good. Something else, he's not that good. He is a great quarterback, and you're right, Randy. Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley
He's
is
what
a
he
great
needed.
slot
He's
guy.
what he needed.
Watch out. So you got to do something. Be creative. I agree with you, Brew. They got to be creative on defense, or it's going to get ugly.
Yeah, there still are some questions, though, on this Bills defense. We'll get to that side of the ball later in the show. But I know, Adam, you have more on this game. What do you know?
Well, Rex broke the news there before, but Pete Carroll has landed a multi-year contract extension in Seattle. The NFL's oldest coach, even though he doesn't act like it, will be tied to this city and franchise for years to come, probably be able to finish his coaching career there. The two sides have tried to keep this deal quiet, but it's been done for a little while, heading into today's game against the Buffalo Bills, and Pete Carroll will try to get this defense turned around, but he is now locked in long-term in Seattle, and the team is locked in for today's game against Buffalo as well. We mentioned earlier in the show that Baker Mayfield was placed on the reserve COVID-19 list. As it turns out, he did not test positive. He's been deemed high-risk, close contact to somebody who did have the virus. So, if all tests are negative, he would be eligible to come off that list later this week after the Browns bye and begin practicing as early as Wednesday. That's good news for Baker Mayfield, and hopefully the tests continue to come back negative. All right, coming up in Sunday NFL Countdown, before Drew Brees and Tom Brady face off today, find out the incredible story of why this Kenny Chesney music video means more than you think to Sean Payton
got
tonight.
plenty of time for tomorrow.
All right, that's a great quarterback matchup. Let's talk about another great quarterback matchup. Russell Wilson against Josh Allen. Russell Wilson, in my mind, is the best deep ball thrower in the game. And he's got two receivers who can flat out fly in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Josh Allen was on fire to start the year. 12 touches, 1 interception. But then he got hurt against the Raiders week 4. And we haven't necessarily seen the same Josh Allen. He's struggled. But I think he's healthy right now. I think you'll see the guy we saw weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4. And